Hey, this is Dr. Letitia Wright from Wright Plays TV. I have a great Skype interview for you. We're going to be talking to the CEO and the founder of Pipeline Fellowship. If you are a woman or a minority and you haven't heard about it, you are definitely sleeping under a rock. The reason why is because she's about making sure that there are more women in the venture capitalist area. Here's the thing. You guys know that I speak about crowdfunding and I talk to a lot of people at events and I MC a lot of events for crowdfunding and investing, and that's what I don't see. There's nobody else at the event that looks like me. There's no women, there's hardly any women. There's definitely no women of color. And, you know, where is the rest of the world? This is not something relegated to one part of the population. So personally, I'm in love with the Pipeline Fellowship mission because this is really exciting. But let me tell you about Natalia Noguera. She is the founder and the CEO of Pipeline Fellowship. She's an angel. This is an angel investor boot camp for women. This means that if you want to be an angel investor and you want to do this and you don't know how yet, this boot camp will teach you how to be a good investor, how to be there, and how to help other women bring their wonderful ideas out of their head into the market. Okay, the Pipeline Fellowship works to increase the diversity in the U.S. angel investing community and creates capital for women social entrepreneurs. So if you are a woman and a social entrepreneur, you need to check into working with them. She also holds a BA in comparative literature and economics from Yale. Okay, she didn't just fall off the turnip truck. She's been featured in Bloomberg, Businessweek, Mashable, Reuters, Money, TechCrunch, the New York Times, Fast Company's Exist Change Generation series, and she was named in the Forbes list of the Forbes top 20 of entrepreneurs to follow on Twitter, as well as Latino.com's 25 Women Who Shine in Tech. All right, she was selected as the Reader's Pick at the Huffington Post Tech's 27 Women in Tech that you need to follow on Twitter, and Women's E-News recognized her as one of the 21 leaders for the 21st century for 2012. And Business Insider included her on its 2013 list of the 30 most important women in tech under 30. Yes, she's a baby, but she knows what she's doing. You can find her on Twitter I'm going to put her Twitter handle down there, but she is part of Pipeline Fellowship. Thank you. Now you're on Right Place TV, so now you have officially done it all.
Dr. Wright, thank you so much for having me. I'm thrilled to be here. And so Natalia Oberti Noguera, the founder and CEO of the Pipeline Fellowship, and people can find me on Nakis on Twitter.
Wait, Nakis. Okay. When you looked around and you saw this tech world had hardly any women, instead of doing a pity party and whining and where are the women and you guys are so racist and what I like to call it's just a sword fight event, you actually did something about it. Tell me about how the vision came to you and how you gathered the troops to make the Pipeline Fellowship be something real and not just something you want to do.
Yeah, that's so interesting that you brought up, because I'm a huge believer. Yes, we need to speak up. We need to call out things when they're not right. And you also need to do stuff. It's like it's walking the talk, but it's important to have the talk, because a lot of people think that it's an either or. And I was inspired to launch the Pipeline Fellowship because I had the opportunity to build a community of, I'd say, from about 6 women to over 1,200 within 2 years in New York City. And they were all women social entrepreneurs, and I kept having the same conversation over and over again. And the gist of that conversation was how hard it was for them to secure funding as a for-profit social venture. They were going out, sharing the idea. Everyone was so excited about how they wanted to change the world. They were saying, I'll support you, I'll write you a check, let me know where to donate. And as soon as they heard that it wasn't a 501c3, people stopped, and they would say, well, come back once you have launched your sister nonprofit. And that's when I had my aha moment, which was, as usual, entrepreneurs were ahead of the curve. They were coming up with these hybrid business models, and we needed to create more hybrid investors who got them. So I have some names for you, and I'll just list them: Honest Tea, Ben and Jerry's, Orby Parker, Tom Shoes.
Yes.
All of these are really great companies that are showing that doing well and doing good can happen. Guess what? They're all led by white guys.
Yeah.
And
no duh.
you and I know that there are women and people of color social entrepreneurs out there that have awesome ideas to revolutionize, to change the world, to make the world a better place. And what I'm working to do is engaging more women and people of color to get on the investing side, to consider that they can make a positive impact by, in addition to donating, in addition to philanthropy, investing in women-led for-profit social ventures in exchange for equity. So that's what I'm up to.
I love that. You say the numbers are low, but they're not zero. So what kind of numbers are there now? And tell us about, the growth and what you've been able to, how many women you've been able to bring and be ready to be investors.
Yeah, so the Pipeline Fellowship launched April 2011. So I'll start with the depressing numbers, and then I'll share the not so depressing numbers, however still a little bit depressing. So in 2011, the stats in terms of how many angel investors in the U.S. were women and how many were minorities, it was about 12% of U.S. angel investors in 2011 who were women and 4% who were minorities. So pretty low numbers. And keep in mind that the Pipeline Fellowship launched April 2011. So just in terms of feeling like we're part of moving the needle, it has been really exciting because the 2012 numbers are higher. And I'm happy to share with you that in terms of women in the U.S. angel investing community, it went from 12% to 22%.
Wow.
Which is awesome. And in terms of minorities, the number went up. It went up from 4% to 5%.
Well, we're getting
we need to work, and we need to get more women of color to step up to the plate. And at the same time, the reason that I say that the numbers are low, but they're not zero, is because, as you mentioned, I go to all these tech events as well. And who do you see speaking? Who do we see speaking? It's white guys. And yes, the numbers are low, but they're not zero. So one of the movements that we have launched is called Changing the Face of Angel Investing. And one of our event series is a breakfast interview. And what I do is that I invite women and people of color influencers to share what they're doing to diversify the VC community, the angel investing community, the entrepreneurship community. And my take is it's important to surface these stories because right now they don't have the spotlight of, the regular mainstream media. And yes, the goal is that we need to mainstream it. And it's just so powerful to realize what it is to put a face to a cause and to a movement. I have Mary Wilson from the White House Project. She says, you can't be what you can't see. And one of our signature events is a conference, which is an all-day event on angel investing that is open to the public. And at our first one, there was a woman attendee who approached me, and woman of color attendee, and she said, you know what, I really was skeptical. I didn't really consider that I could be an angel investor. And then panel after panel that you curated, I saw myself reflected in the speakers. There were women, there were people of color, and they were part of the angel investing community. And thank you for showing me that the door is open, and all I need to do is go through.
Absolutely. And all of you guys, there are a lot of events coming up over the year. There are a lot of events you can apply to and be a part of. Please visit pipelinefellowship.org or .com. .com. Pipelinefellowship.com and visit, get on their list, go to the events. This is really important, and this is a really important time. I mean, like the right now and what you're doing right now is just really incredible. It's going to make such a difference. She's able to add the percentages over 10% in just 2 years. So what's it going to be like in 2015, in 2020? She's going to have done some amazing stuff. So you guys want to be a part of that. All right. So my audience is entrepreneurs. I gotta ask you, I know that you are on a lot of pitch panels, and people love to pitch, but they need some advice and some training. So give us your best advice for pitching so that you can get an investor.
Yeah, so the first one of my favorite tips is if you want money, ask for feedback. And a lot of entrepreneurs, particularly women and people of color, don't realize that it just starts with a simple conversation. They're like, I'm not sure, I don't want to put my idea out there because it's not ready. And they don't realize that putting it out there and getting the feedback will get them closer to a business model that will meet market needs. And I'll share my tips in the form of my pet peeves. And I have two main pet peeves that I see whenever I'm judging pitches. And one of them is, we are first to market. No one else has thought about this. It's revolutionary. And I personally find it a much more compelling business case when an entrepreneur has their competitive landscape, talks about the 5 or 7 competitors. It might be, not direct competitors, still, is in the landscape, and how their product or service differentiates itself from all those other players, and what sort of value their product or service adds to the user. And that shows me that they have done the homework, that they have gone out and they have actually tried out what is out there, and that, yes, guess what, there is a pain point and they're solving it. So that's my first pet peeve. My other pet peeve, I'll call them the solopreneurs. And those are people who are like, I want money to grow my business. However, they haven't yet created a team, to prepare them to scale. And so, one of the best things that I have seen people do is really think about what are their strengths and then go out there to find their yin to their yang, and really make sure that showcases Seth Godin in his book Tribes. He says that a leader isn't a leader until her or his first follower. And so thinking about how you are actually making a stronger case to the potential investor by showcasing that you do have followers, you have believers, and they're part of your team, they're part of your advisory board, and any sort of mentors or coaches that you might have. So I'd suggest people think about both growing their founding team and also making sure that they're formalizing an advisory board.
Tell me how much Pipeline Fellowship has put a lot of money into women's businesses. Let's talk about some of those numbers, that this is actual, money that's happening and transferring.
Yeah, so since we launched April 2011, we have graduated over 70 women, which is really exciting, and we're on track actually to doubling that size. We started in New York City, we headed to Boston, we went to the Bay Area, and right now we have a call open for applications for our fall 2013 Angel Investing Bootcamps in Chicago, LA, and the Bay Area. And so people can learn more if they go to the website, pipelinefellowship.com. And then we also are going to be having our spring 2014 Angel Investing Bootcamps, which are going to be in Boston, New York City, and DC. And why do I bring up all these cities? And this is because entrepreneurs are everywhere, capital isn't. And
wait, stop. Say that again. That's something I never hear anybody talk about. Say that again.
Entrepreneurs are everywhere and capital isn't. And everyone, please feel free to live tweet it. And
yes,
is my Twitter handle.
I'm going to put that out there. We're going to have some great conversation about that. I love that. But this is something that people need to understand. So go ahead. I didn't mean to break your train of thought, but go ahead from there, because that is just, oh my gosh, that's worth your 5K for going. Just to understand that will make a world of difference for a lot of people trying to get their thing off the ground, So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, even when we talk about New York City or Boston or Silicon Valley, where the capital is supposed to be, we also need to acknowledge that women and people of color entrepreneurs, and where the capital is, they aren't even connected or have access. So not even talking about those hubs, there are entrepreneurs who are in different cities that might not have ever heard of venture capital, or, angel investing. And of course, there are some business models that they just don't make sense in terms of, engaging angel investors and or venture capitalists. And at the same time, there are some awesome, awesome ideas out there that are not in Boston, that are not in Silicon Valley, that are not in New York City, and they just don't know that they could scale their businesses, they could grow their businesses by engaging angel investors and by engaging venture capitalists. And on that note, the one thing that I do want to bring up, because people ask, is why angel investors? And for me, I view it as, people call it smart money. And I love that, because the idea is, unlike, let's just say, a loan, which is also very hard to secure. So that's just like another conversation for another day. An angel investor, the goal is that you're getting the financial capital through that angel investor. At the same time, you're getting the social capital, the networks, the contacts, and you're getting the human capital, the skill sets that are not necessarily going to be attached to like a bank loan. So that's something that I'm very passionate about. And then you mentioned money, so I will share figures with you. The commitments that we ask these angels in training, and that's how I call them, to make, is that each one put down $5,000 for a collective of, usually we have about 10 women per cohort. So it's a collective of a minimum of $50,000 that they commit to invest in a woman-led for-profit social venture in exchange for equity. And I have some success stories, which I'm super psyched to share with you. The first one is, just the ripple effect of putting 10 angels in training and 10 women social entrepreneurs in one room has gone beyond that group commitment of 50K into one company. There have been some pipeline fellows that have been so excited by another entrepreneur that they meet at the pitch summit that they have ended up investing additionally, separately, individually into other companies. So we're also activating more capital than just that, commitment that is part of the program. Additionally, there might be a company / entrepreneur that's not yet ready to secure capital, and we have had some of our pipeline fellows commit to advise them, to coach them and to mentor them so that they can get to the next stage and be ready to secure capital.
Absolutely. I love that. That is very, very exciting, and we want to hear more of your. We want you to come back and share more and more of the success stories that you have. A friend of mine, Adrian, says a lot of times we don't. They say, "Yo, these people are not coming to the table," but they don't even know the table is there. So it's so important to find out about it. We're definitely going to do our best to spread the word among entrepreneurs about Pipeline Fellowship and the opportunity there. This is an incredible opportunity. This is an incredible time. Let's talk really briefly again about the application dates and some of the events and that people can get into. Just so that you are clear, there is something coming up. If you're interested in LA, my LA people, you need to act on this immediately when you watch this video. So go ahead.
Yeah, so our fall 2013 Angel Investing Bootcamp applications, they're due tomorrow, Friday, September 13, 2013. And in terms of the spring 2014 boot camps that will be happening in Boston and New York City and DC, we will be announcing our call for applications in the next few weeks, which is exciting. And for anyone who is interested in attending, we have entrepreneurs who have attended our conference, the all-day angel investing conference. This year will be in the Bay Area, October 4, and people can learn more about it on our website, pipelinefellowship.com. And we have had entrepreneurs who come because they say that learning about what the other side is thinking about helps them better prepare to pitch. And so I would just encourage also not people who are interested in learning more about angel investing and entrepreneurs who are considering pitching to angel investors to join us. And then I do want to share one more, I'd say wisdom from Toya Powell from US Black Chamber Inc. And she likes to say fortune is in the follow-up. So I say that's the other thing that entrepreneurs need to keep in mind. If you did go to an event, you exchanged business cards, make sure that you're not collecting those cards. Make sure that you're also using them.
Very good. Thank you so much. I promised your peeps I would not keep you too long because you have a busy day today. But I thank you so much, and I would love, love, love to have you come back. Again, you guys, find out what's going on. Go to pipelinefellowship.com. I'm going to have the links down there on the site, and the links will be on the YouTube replay when you guys are watching this. So this takes action today. You know, money likes speed, so you got to take care of it. Thank you again for being on the show. You're a wonderful guest. You've taught us so much in just that short period of time. And I want to thank all of you guys for watching. Remember what I always say. Ignoring one's conscience is neither safe nor right. This is Dr. Wright from the Right Place Show, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you, Dr. Wright.